Welcome to the Ainfluencer podcast, your go-to hub for influencer marketing, e-commerce, and affiliate strategies. Follow us to uncover success stories, expert advice, and practical insights to elevate your brand. This is the Ainfluencer podcast, your guide to mastering influence and transforming your business. Stay tuned.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive.
Yeah.
You know, in 2025, everybody's wondering how to find the perfect influencers.
Yeah.
And luckily for all of you after listening, you sent in a ton of fascinating articles and videos.
It's really quite the reading list.
It is.
Yeah.
We've got some really interesting stuff to dig into. And I think one of the most exciting things that we're going to talk about today is this new tool that's going to maybe change the entire way you look at influencer marketing. But we'll get to that later.
Okay.
For now, let's talk about some more foundational stuff.
Okay.
And one of the things that really stood out to me
Yeah.
in the articles that you sent over
Okay.
was this idea that influencer marketing has shifted away from just chasing big celebrities.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it used to be that you would just try to get the biggest name possible.
Right.
And now it seems like authenticity is becoming more and more important.
It is.
But before we even get into finding those perfect partners,
Right?
I think it's important for us to take a step back.
Yeah.
And really understand the why behind influencer marketing.
I completely agree. And in fact, one of the articles you sent over, it's by this marketing consultant, and they've worked on both sides of the influencer equation.
Oh, wow.
And they really stress this idea of aligning your strategy with your goals.
Okay.
So, like, are you trying to increase brand awareness, or are you trying to drive sales, or are you trying to, generate buzz and engagement? Maybe you're launching a new product or something. So thinking about you listening to this right now, what are you hoping to achieve with influencer marketing? Like, what does success look like for you?
Yeah, I think that's such an important question because influencer marketing is a tool.
Right.
And every tool has to be used correctly for the right job.
Exactly.
You know, you wouldn't use a hammer to screw in a screw.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So once you have that clear vision of your goals,
Yeah.
then you can start to think about, okay, what type of influencer is actually going to help me get there?
Right. And speaking of types of influencers, we should probably break down these influencer tiers.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because that really does matter when you're thinking about strategy.
So we've got our nano influencers,
Okay.
our micro influencers, our macro influencers, and then our celebrity or mega influencers.
Yep. It's like a whole ecosystem.
It is a whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
And it can get a little overwhelming if you're not familiar with it.
Definitely.
So let's start with those nano influencers.
Okay.
One of your articles mentioned that they have anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 followers.
Yeah, that's right.
And they often have these incredible engagement rates.
They really do because, they're like those trusted friends that everyone kind of turns to for advice.
Yeah. It's almost like word-of-mouth marketing.
It is. It is.
But just amplified,
Right.
So think about it like maybe a food blogger
Yeah.
who's got this really dedicated but small following. They might not have millions of followers.
Right.
But the people who do follow them really trust the recommendations.
Oh, yeah.
So that can be incredibly powerful
Definitely.
for, say, a local restaurant
Right.
or a small food brand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then we move up to our micro-influencers.
Okay.
These are the people who have 10,000 to 50,000 followers. They offer a little bit more reach
Yeah.
while hopefully still retaining that really personal connection with their audience.
Right.
Like a great example of this might be a fitness instructor who's built a really strong online community.
Okay.
They have the expertise.
Yeah.
They have this engaged audience. So you can imagine them partnering with athletic wear brands
Sure.
or maybe supplement companies.
Yeah.
And those partnerships can feel really authentic.
They do.
Because the influencer is genuinely passionate about fitness.
Exactly.
And then we get to the macro influencers.
Uh-huh.
Now, these are the ones with the really big followings.
Yeah.
50,000 to 1 million followers.
Yeah.
But one of the studies that you shared pointed out this really interesting trend.
Oh, really?
That engagement rates actually tend to drop as follower counts rise. And that's kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's because as an influencer gets bigger and bigger, it's harder for them to maintain those really personal connections with their followers.
That makes sense.
If you have hundreds of thousands of followers,
Yeah.
it's really hard to respond to every comment,
It is. It is.
to engage in all those conversations.
Right.
It's just not humanly possible.
Yeah. You can't clone yourself.
You can't.
If only.
If only.
So I think that's why we're seeing this shift towards those smaller, more niche influencers.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because it's all about finding those authentic voices
Right.
who really resonate with a very specific target audience.
Exactly. It's about quality over quantity.
Exactly. It's not just about chasing big numbers.
And speaking of authenticity.
One of your articles really dives deep on a topic that's close to my heart.
Oh, yeah.
How to spot fake followers and red flags.
Yes. I was going to say that's something I'm really curious about.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it seems like every time you turn around, there's another story about an influencer getting exposed for buying followers or engagement.
Right.
And one article actually cites a study that found like nearly 20% of influencers have purchased followers at some point.
Yeah.
So that's a huge risk for brands who are investing in these partnerships.
So how do we protect ourselves? What are
Oh.
some of the things we should be looking for?
One of the most obvious signs is if there's like a huge discrepancy between the follower count and then the number of likes or comments on a post.
Oh, yeah.
So if someone has 1 million followers, but their posts are only getting like a handful of likes,
Right.
something's fishy.
Yeah. If it seems too good to be true,
Right.
it probably is.
Probably is. What else? Keep an eye out for sudden drops in engagement on recent posts, because that could be a sign that they bought followers or engagement in the past.
Oh, I see.
And that kind of artificial boost has worn off.
Interesting.
Also pay attention to the comments section.
Okay.
Because if you're seeing a lot of like generic, irrelevant comments that aren't really engaging with the content, that could be a telltale sign of bot activity.
So being a savvy influencer marketer requires us to kind of be detectives in a way.
It does. It does. But it's worth it.
It is.
To come find those genuine partners who can actually help you reach your goals.
It is. And the good news is there are a lot of free tactics that we can use to find these amazing influencers without, breaking the bank.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about some of those free tactics,
Okay.
especially for platforms like Instagram and YouTube.
Okay. So one of the articles really breaks down how to use Instagram hashtags effectively.
Okay.
So instead of just like broadly searching for hashtag fashion, you really want to get specific with hashtags that are relevant to your niche. So maybe something like hashtag sustainable fashion or hashtag vintage clothing.
Right.
Because then you're going to find those micro communities where your target audience is already hanging out.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then once you've found some good hashtags, you can start exploring the top performing posts for those hashtags.
Okay.
And you're going to look at, the influencer profiles, what's their content style like, what are their engagement rates, what are the demographics of their audience. You can even use Instagram's similar accounts feature to uncover some hidden gems.
It's like a treasure hunt.
It is.
It's so fun.
The perfect influencer.
It is. Now for YouTube.
Yes. What about YouTube?
Free analytics plugins like vidIQ and TubeBuddy can be super helpful because they give you all these insights into like channel performance, video rankings, audience demographics. You can even find creators who are already talking about things related to your brand.
Even if they haven't explicitly mentioned your product or service yet.
It's like having a secret decoder ring for YouTube.
It is. It is. So the key takeaway here is that finding influencers doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. With a little resourcefulness and some smart strategies, you can totally find those perfect fit partners.
I love that. But, you mentioned earlier that there's this new tool that's using AI to kind of change the game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm dying to hear more about that.
So Ainfluencer.com is this incredibly exciting platform that's addressing a lot of the pain points that we've been talking about today.
Interesting.
It's designed to help brands of all sizes find and connect with the right influencers. And get this, it's completely free to use.
Wait a minute. Did you say free?
Free 99.
Amazing. So how does it work?
So Ainfluencer.com uses AI to analyze millions of influencer profiles across platforms like Instagram and TikTok. And it looks at all these different factors like audience demographics, content style, engagement rates, even brand affinities to basically match you with influencers who are the most relevant to your specific needs.
So it's like a matchmaking service for brands and influencers.
Totally.
That's really cool. That takes out a lot of the guesswork.
It does.
And, I know we're going to talk about Ainfluencer.com a lot more in the next segment.
Oh, yeah.
But I just wanted to tease that for all of you listening out there.
We got a lot more to cover.
We do. We'll be right back.
Looking to connect with your audience and make your product go viral? Meet Ainfluencer.com, the end-to-end marketplace that connects you with over 1 million Instagram and TikTok influencers for free. With no subscriptions or fees, Ainfluencer.com makes it easy to find the perfect collaboration partners for your brand instantly. Its AI-powered system does the heavy lifting, matching you with influencers based on niche demographics, past performance, and engagement. Start your campaign directly from your Ainfluencer dashboard or your Shopify store in seconds. Manage everything from inviting influencers and negotiating deals to secure payments and performance analytics all in one place. Handle influencer-curated lists, affiliate marketing, and content creation, even translated into 200+ languages, all without paying any platform fees. Unlimited use, forever free. Visit Ainfluencer.com today and take your brand to the next level.
Welcome back. We were just about to dive deeper into Ainfluencer.com.
Yes.
You know, as we were talking about all these articles and videos, one thing that really stood out to me was how much emphasis they put on trust and transparency.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it can feel really risky
It is.
for businesses, especially if they've never worked with influencers before.
Right.
You know, it's like navigating uncharted waters.
Exactly.
And you don't know who to trust.
You don't. And that's actually one of the things that impressed me most about Ainfluencer.com.
Okay.
They've really prioritized transparency.
Oh, interesting.
How so?
So, for example, one of the articles talked about their public review and rating system for influencers.
Oh, wow. So it's like reading reviews before you book a hotel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or choose a restaurant.
Right.
You can actually see what other brands have said about an influencer before you even reach out to them.
That's really smart.
It is. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it.
It does. It does. And what about, what happens if things go wrong?
Right.
Because let's face it, even with the best intentions,
Yeah.
disagreements happen.
They do. They do.
So how does Ainfluencer.com kind of mitigate that risk?
Well, that's where their resolution center comes in.
Okay.
So it's basically a neutral third party that helps mediate any disputes and make sure that everything's fair for both the brand and the influencer.
So it's like having a safety net. It is. And another thing that I saw in the articles that they talked about was the escrow system for payments.
Oh, yeah. Can you explain how that works?
Sure. So basically, it means that your funds are held securely until the influencer actually completes the agreed-upon deliverables.
So you're not just sending money out into the void.
Exactly. You don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
It protects both parties.
And it builds trust.
It does. It does. Now, I was curious about how much detail Ainfluencer.com actually provides about each influencer.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, is it just basic information or do you get like a deeper dive?
Right.
And one of the things that I love about Ainfluencer.com is they go really deep.
Okay.
You can see way more than just follower counts and engagement rates. They have a whole section on past collaborations.
Interesting.
So you can see like what brands they've worked with.
Oh, yeah.
What type of content did they create?
Right.
Even like how much they got paid for those campaigns.
So it's like you get this behind the scenes look.
You do. You do.
At their track record.
And you can see, do they have experience in your niche? Have they worked with brands that are similar to yours? So you can make a much more informed decision.
That's really helpful. And I also noticed that Ainfluencer.com integrates with e-commerce platforms like Shopify.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Why is that integration so important?
Well, because it just streamlines everything.
Okay.
Like you can track the performance of your campaigns in real time, see which products are generating the most buzz, even manage like affiliate links and coupon codes all within the Ainfluencer.com platform.
It's like having a central command center.
It is.
For all of your influencer marketing.
And I know some people might be thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but I'm not a tech whiz.
Right.
Is this platform user-friendly?
Yeah. Is it easy to use?
And one of your articles actually highlighted how user-friendly it is.
Oh, good.
They've designed it to be really intuitive.
Okay.
And easy to navigate, even for people who aren't like super tech savvy.
And if you do get stuck, they have a really good support team.
They do. They do. They offer unlimited walkthrough sessions to make sure you're getting the most out of the platform.
That's awesome. It sounds like they've really thought of everything.
They have. And it's not just for brands.
Oh, that's right. It's for influencers, too.
Are you an influencer looking to land more deals and grow your income? Meet Ainfluencer.com, the free marketplace connecting you with thousands of brands on Instagram and TikTok. With no fees, subscriptions, or hidden costs, Ainfluencer.com is built to help you succeed. You keep 80% of every deal, and we handle the rest, from secure payments to resolving any disputes. Our AI-powered system matches you with the perfect campaigns based on your niche, audience, and engagement. Simply create a profile, showcase your work, and start collaborating with top brands in minutes. From paid posts and affiliate deals to content creation opportunities, Ainfluencer lets you manage it all in one place. And with tools to track your performance and build your reputation, you'll always stay ahead. Join Ainfluencer.com today and turn your creativity into profit. Free forever. Ainfluencer. Smart collaborations, endless opportunities.
So for influencers, it's kind of like having a digital agent who's constantly pitching them to relevant brands, and they can create these profiles that showcase their niche expertise, their audience demographics, their past collaborations. So it's easy for brands to find them.
And they don't have to worry about sharing their social media login information. Or anything like that.
It's all handled securely through the platform.
So win-win.
It is now full transparency. Ainfluencer.com is still a relatively new platform. So there are a few areas where they're still kind of growing and evolving.
That makes sense. So what are some of the things that they're still working on?
Well, one thing is that right now their platform is primarily focused on Instagram and TikTok. So if you're looking for influencers on other platforms like YouTube or Facebook, you might need to use some other methods for now.
That's understandable.
And another thing is that their customer service is currently limited to standard business hours. So if you have a question outside of those hours, you might experience a little bit of a delay in getting a response.
But, that's to be expected with any new platform.
Totally. But I have no doubt that they're going to address that as they grow.
It's really exciting to see a platform like this shaking things up.
It is.
Making influencer marketing more accessible, more transparent, and just more effective for everyone involved.
Totally agree. And I think this is just the beginning. We're only scratching the surface of what Ainfluencer.com can do.
So before we get too carried away with all of this excitement, let's just take a step back and kind of recap what we've learned.
Let's distill some key takeaways for everybody listening.
Let's do it. We'll be right back. All right, we're back for the final part of our deep dive on influencer marketing in 2025.
Time to put it all together.
Yeah, it's been a lot of information, but hopefully you guys are feeling a lot more confident about navigating this world.
I hope so. It's fascinating to me how much the influencer landscape has changed just in the last couple of years.
I mean, it used to be all about those big names, those celebrities. And now it's so much more about authenticity and finding those voices that really connect with people on a deeper level.
One of the things that I kept thinking about as we were discussing these articles and videos is how much power you actually have. You're not just sitting back passively absorbing information. You're gaining actionable knowledge that you can apply to your own brand's strategy.
That's the whole point of this.
Exactly.
So let's distill some of those key takeaways that will help you navigate the world of influencer marketing in 2025.
Sounds good.
First and foremost,